Okay, so I'm just recording. I'm sleepy. But I'm playing Resident Evil 1 remake a little bit. Here's my cause I realized that I haven't um played it since like well I'll explain it later, but I haven't played it in a while. And I only played in like, you know, like what was it? Thing setting? Auto de upload. I don't want to do that. I haven't played it also there's like two modes. I haven't played it in HD resolution. I only played it in like thing. And like let me see my old files. Yeah, so these are my old files. This is the like, from years ago. And I love this game.
Resident Evil.
So I want to try it again. Definitely want to try it again. Alternate. I don't know what alternate means in this case. Uh yeah, I think it's just like medium's fine. Wait, did I play it on hard mode the first time? I don't know why I'd play as Chris. I think I can play as Chris this time. I guess. But well, I mean, there's no reason not to play as Jill. Jill is like the better person to play as all the time. Because it's Jill. It's Jill Valentine. Why'd I play anything else? 1980. It's Raccoon
Alpha team
City.
is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City.
Northwest
We
Raccoon
are
City.
searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo team.
Guns of the Patriots.
Disappeared during the middle of their mission. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently
Eaten. Cannibalism.
The Bravo team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris.
Whoa.
Bravo team's helicopter was a derelict.
What's that mean? A derelict? Like a Doctor Who?
Save for the remaining body of Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into
A nightmare.
a nightmare.
Nightmare. I just realized why am I even watching this cutscene? It doesn't matter either way. I'm gonna watch this shit. The video I'm making right now, I guess. Presumably. Not the game. But I've been watching the cutscenes of the game. It bites him, kills him. Bro does not know how to shoot at all. But then again, they kind of not surprised to be fair. They're eating him, and now they're gonna eat me. Oh my gosh! Troll 2 is not even that bad of a movie, which is so funny. Yeah, I'd fold in that situation too. Shit, maybe I shouldn't play as Chris. Look at the oh my god. Definitely the Shrek 2 of Resident Evil great games. Oh no, not the bark sound effect. Not the for all the dogs.
Chris, this way.
Not the Wesker. Wesker. Oh no.
Make for that mansion.
I gotta play the game. Ooh. Enjoy this. Enter the survival horror. Okay, they cooked. They cooked. All right, I get it. I get it.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself.
Ooh.
We don't know where Chris is.
Oh, it's not Chris.
What is this place?
Barry. Wait, what?
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Never mind.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no. You don't want to go back out there.
No.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
What was that noise?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
I'm going with her. Chris and I go back a long way.
All right. You two go.
Me and Chris go. Me and Chris. We go again. Go way
Stay
back.
sharp.
I love the door animation.
A dining room.
Dinner. Oh, I can actually oh shit! I can actually play the game now. First, I have to get the ink ribbon, which is so funny. You have to get ink ribbons to save. It's a very dynamic part of the game. I'll admit, and two running to each other, path destiny will open. So in this playthrough, I can't just fuck around and just save whenever I want, like I did with Evergrace. I just save after fucking everything. Two knights striking each other. Sword through the base of the knight. The long sword is piercing the other. The other. Okay, let's try and.
I think you'd better take a look at this.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think I'll taste it. Ketchup.
Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
You know what I mean? It was me, Barry. It was I who spilled the ketchup.
Barry.
The one thing I will give them that is that they won't have anyone to jump through the doors and the transitions. What's issue? This game has. That's what I like about this game in particular. The fixed camera angles. I'm shitting myself. I'm just. I know it's coming up. Barry. Barry. Uh-oh. 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 How do I shoot? What's the shoot button? Oh shit. That's not gonna work. Help. Barry! Barry! No, this game was terrifying. Oh my god, this game is so good.
Barry!
What is it?
It makes me like horror games.
Monster!
A monster!
Let me take care of it.
Bro's got a hand cannon that's just not doing anything. He's shooting him right in the, like, upper body, too.
What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
Is Wesker gonna be gone in this case? Let's ignore that. As soon as that, I don't know.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. Let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
I don't know. Yeah, like the fixed camera angles are incredible. Like something about this game. The thing about this game is that it has impeccable atmosphere, and that's what's so cool about this game in particular. I should have set that thing to 4x3, but so it had the old 10 like 480p kind of thing. But the main thing about this game is that it has the pre-rendered backgrounds, but it's like past the PS1. Like any game that has pre-rendered backgrounds is already good to me, but past the PS1, like if you have PS2 or GameCube pre-rendered backgrounds, you have like the advancements in like CGI technology that happened past the 90s. So this game looks literally like as good as like a 4K, like this game looks literally as good as a ray traced game made now, but the only difference is that it's not live. So, but the shadows are painted on. So it's essentially the same kind of quality. But either way, I'm not a graphics whore or anything, but I'm saying that this game like achieves this amazing like looking feeling. Let me go around to other areas so you can look at it better. But it achieves this amazing looking feeling, especially because it's like, you know, like I get why people moved away from pre-rendered graphics, but I wish like more people did at least at fixed camera angles. But the pre-rendered graphics are definitely like a style that people should. Cause I think Disco Elysium does a lot of pre-rendered graphics too. Like it's a very viable type of, you know, you can't make anything out of the darkness of fog. I don't know. I think we gaming as a medium is very weird with its history, and certain things it abandons very quickly, and certain things people like hold on to for way too long, right? I will say that abandoning lives is a good choice generally, but also there are situations that are more tense with lives, you know what I mean? Like it just depends on the game. And I think just objectively saying having any objectivity with any kind of thing is, because games aren't treated as an artistic medium, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's treated as like a commodified medium on the base level.
No, nothing. What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay then, I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh, I almost forgot. It's a lockpick. You'd make better use of it.
A master of unlocking. Nice.
Thanks. I may need it.
Listen,
Do.
if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. Got it?
Okay.
He's going that way. I guess I'll go this way. It's locked. Emblem of helmet scribed to lock. Think about Resident Evil 1 remake. Wonder what's the other side of the door. I do not wonder that. It came in a, what's it called? The thing about Resident Evil 1 remake is it came in a particular time in my life, right? And judging by the fact that it was in 720p in the first place means that it was definitely that time when we used to stream, like it was around 2020 or 2021 when I used to stream games a lot, right? And this is a puzzle room, I think. This is like for this. All the photograph sits in the frame. Connected to the mansion somehow. I did not expect her to do that, actually. Also, I love how you could just like stay up here. That's just kind of fun. I mean, I get it. This is probably the better way to do it. Hold up. I'm drawing water. But I was saying that I came in a particular time in my life because I was doing streaming for the first, I think it was like first couple years, and first something I'm life anymore. And this game was like the Halloween special, whatever. Called like, okay, I already had Resident Evil for some reason. I don't know. It came out library, and you know, Resident Evil 2 remake was one of the first games that like I played like on my shitty computer setup, and I was like, it's like 30 FPS, 720p, right? And what's it called? And the main thing about it was that I couldn't play Resident Evil 2, couldn't stream at the same time. And that was back when I was like a fucking, oh god, a VTuber. Oh jeez. But it was special because it was like, you know, those early stream days. I don't know what was about them, but I view them fondly because there was no like, it was a weird like dream-like state because from my recollection, I had really nothing going on in my life, and it was like I was playing all these like all these games that like deep into the night, right? I started like at like 11 or 12, and I went until like fucking 5 a.m. or some shit. Some like really like late times, and I really made sure to not stream before when the sun came up, because I hate when watching the sun come up. That means I slept. That means I stayed awake too long, and all these games I played like, like I remember how the specific memory, like the first game I played on stream, like to completion or to finish, was my first time playing Valhalla, as VA-11-HALL-A or whatever the fuck it is. Cyberpunk bartending action, one of my favorite games of all time, and it was just like me and a really like, no one was in that stream. The stream was quiet. No one could hear my voice, even though I had a pretty solid mic. It was like a blue snowball. It was all right. My mic was way too far away from me. My fan was in the way. My audio was terrible. But I view those streams fondly because it was like an emotion that I don't know how to describe. Like a nostalgic emotion for those early streams for some reason. You know, I played Racing Lagoon. I played like Valhalla. I played like Doom 2016. And I remember Doom 2016, I played that and I listened to George Clanton's Slide all the way through one time. That was a very special memory. I very much like that because Slide is such a good album, you know what I mean? And one of those memories is playing this. It's playing Resident Evil 1 Remake. And, you know, people came by a little bit, but mostly it was me alone. And honestly, I use streaming games as a means to actually play the game. I just have a really hard time focusing, right? So it's just the matter for me is that, you know, that's my thing about it. It's just like, and honestly, I you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it was just like, I call it a very vaporwave-esque stream because this is the only feeling I get associated with it. Okay. Eerie picture of a mansion. Oh, fuck. Huh. 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 Fuck. Dude. You see this shit? I'm scary as fuck. Take the dagger, sure. I'll just escape momentarily. You don't be able to escape when the enemy grabs from behind. Status screen. Yeah, the various art supplies. Look at this printed shit. Oh, fucking hell. How did you even get here? Well, it's automatic. The goddamn dagger. Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Can she even use a melee move? I just realized. You see, I'm scary as shit. I can't play this. So when I was playing the game, I was just so fucking terrified. Wait, is there like a melee function? Run, examine, aim. Nope. Come on, you bitch. So wait, I can't move that, can I? Well, I don't want to move right now. If I move it back over there, fuck us. But I'm gonna have to move it over there because I need to, do I? I don't think I need to, actually. Yeah. This music's also insanely good for this shit. It's locked. Oh, fuck off. Is that a camera? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go past it. Okay, see right here. And it just stops. It just stops. Honestly. And the thing about these, if you haven't played this game before, These zombies, they're not dead when, like, at least in this version, they're not dead whenever you think. You have to go and fucking burn them alive, or burn them. And that shit scared the piss out of me the first time I saw it. This entire game is like, this is like the entire, this game alone is like the reason I could even, like, I see the appeal of horror games, right? Because it's exhilarating. It's absolutely exhilarating. It's so dynamic and exciting, but it's horrifying. It gives you a fear that nothing else does, especially because of the fixed camera angles. Like, if you haven't played a horror game with fixed camera angles, like FNAF 1 used to be like this tier of horror, because they use the same techniques, pre-render graphics and that. And, you know, FNAF, oh god, FNAF has gotten, you know, watered down at this point because it's like, you know, for fucking 3-year-olds. But the first time I saw FNAF, it was like this exact feeling where it's like, you know, you're just like sitting there helplessly and you're like fucking terrified. And, you know, I watched this video on gatekeeping today. I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know, I see both sides of it. I'm like, you can't gatekeep shit. It's not possible. But sometimes you think about, like, you know, I don't think, you know, I'm glad that, what's his name? Christian Whitehead. No, whatever the fuck the name is of the dude. Oh god. Fucking hell. Can I aim at the fucking head? Yeah, I have to kill this guy because this guy in particular is gonna be here for like the entire game. And you have to go through this like hallway a lot. Oh my fucking god. Dude, holy shit. You bitch. Oh my fucking god. How much goddamn ammo do I have? Oh, I'm literally out of ammo. Oh, I forgot I had a survival knife. Oh, I'm cooked. This is why Resident Evil 1 Remake is so good, because this game gives you 3 ammo and you just gotta deal with it. God, the whole point of, like, this is a corpse of your comrade, Kenneth. It looks like he's holding something. Film player. Video player. Torn out. So yeah, Resident Evil 1 Remake is so good because the design of it is, because this is Sweet Home. Because Sweet Home on Famicom is very much like this. Like, people say like, oh, Sweet Home is based on that. But like, the thing about Sweet Home and that shared this and that is that the design of them are so, like, you know, I don't know about the other Resident Evils because I haven't played the other Resident Evils. This is the only one I played all the way through. But for the other Resident Evils, especially like the more like, what's it called, action ones, I'm not sure if they have the same kind of like tensity, but on the base level, this is a survival horror game. This game gives you like 5 ammo. This game makes you like go through all these mansions. Like, look at this fucking angle. Look at this angle. There's nothing here, and it's look at this shit. Like, it's just like all this shit. It gives you like barely enough things to survive. Sometimes just not enough to survive. Like, there are situations that are just like not a fail safe, but you're basically hopeless if you're like a new player. And especially because this match is confusing and winding, I have to use a guide. So I mean, there's a way you could definitely, like, you know, god fucking damn, it's so fucking terrifying. And this guy might just pop out anytime, because you know what I mean. There's like these angles are so, like, this right here, like, I need to play Eternal Darkness because it probably has the same vibe. Like, this is a cinematic angle. This is a cinematic angle. What was it, the Dutch twist or whatever? Like the fucking, like, there's like a name for this type of twist. This was in the Grinch a lot. The Dutch angle. Fucking terrified, dude. And my main thing about it is that this game's just so, like, it forces you to engage with it, you know? It forces you, oh shit. You see what I mean? Like, it's, I have to like fucking, fuck. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I'm fucking cooked. Use that green herb. Wait, hold up. You see right here? Combine these two. Green herb, you got that weed. That, I got that good weed. Got that good and kush. I got the good kush and gasoline. I forgot what the fuck the meme was. But this is what you gotta do. You gotta like literally like do this shit. Like fucking hell. So you gotta try to shank a bitch like, oh no, I'm cooked. Got that good kush. Got that green herb. So like there's like a limited amount of like things in the game you could use, right? And it's like, you know, if you get good at it, you could. Wait, hold up. Yeah, this is a trap room. There are also various trap rooms that just like fuck you up. So if you just like, cause I remember this fucked me over. So certain rooms, if you just go into them, they just kill you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Chip in the shield, death is only the beginning. So that's the thing about it. Like, this game is like, I don't want to play this game again because it's like it's like fucking like it's super late. I'm really scared. I'm really terrified. But this is the perfect like place to play this game. But my whole thing about it is that you know, I think the main thing with me and a lot of other gamers, I'm making a lot of assumptions about gamers recently, but for me at least, is that for video games, you know, it's hard to say that you want to be, because people want hard games, but they don't want to feel like they're getting their ass kicked. That's the difference. So it's like, you know, I want to win it. I want to play a fighting game where I want a good challenge. And honestly, I don't mind getting my ass kicked. But a lot of people, if they get their ass kicked, they're like, hate the game. Like, this game's terrible. This game's ass, right? Because, you know, people blame their shortcomings. They see their shortcomings as like not a factor in the fun, but something to be like hated, you know? And whenever I try a game that's challenging but like well designed, it's like I always think of it as a memorable, really valuable experience. You know what I mean? Like, this was just a random like game, because you know I know Resident Evil's good, but it was a I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. It's like it was a very valuable experience because, you know, I don't know. The way it was, I don't want, because if I talk while doing it, I can't focus on. I'm not good at focusing on the game. So I'm saying it was a very valid experience because sometimes you need the challenge. You need a game to challenge you, and you don't know like why or when. You know what I mean? Like, my whole point is like certain games. That's why Dark Souls is so popular, I think, because I think a thing about it is that people don't. It's like life, right? People like. Life is going to change you no matter what. You're going to face challenges and trials and tribulations and shit. But no one says, I want to be challenged. I want to have a hard time right now, right? They just say, like, I want to, I'm going to live and it's going to happen to me. And I think having that, like, proactive view of life where you're like, accept the challenges, cause your own challenges and go through them is, you know, what people consider success, you know, more dynamic lifestyle. And that's why I want to try out more games and shit. Because, good lord. God, I can't even try some more games. Because, you know, these engaging experiences like this out of my comfort zone are what, you know, what changes you and for the better. Or at least makes you a more well-rounded person, right? But, you know, it's hard to like say I want to go and challenge myself without someone like forcing you. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So it's like one of those try it and you'll like it type of things. And it's like that was on a Yo Gabba Gab episode, but you know, it's something that you know you have to reapply to your life, because some of those early lessons, like don't bite your friends. It's like, oh, it sounds familiar. Like, okay, like I'm not fucking 5 years old. I won't bite my friends, but treating your friends right, despite your problems, is like it's a lesson that you learn through life. You know, life. My thing about it is that you can't even like, you have to like shift in place too. Fucking hell, why is it storming out there? There's an elevator here. You can access it from this floor. So it's like any single room can have a fucking massive zombie that's nigh unkillable there. And it's like, And all these emblems you gotta keep track of. So if you're actually doing this shit without a guide, you like actually gotta like go and write this shit down because this mansion's pretty fucking big. And you know, and especially in the you know, and I like the doors. I think the doors in the original PlayStation version obviously was like a constraint of the hardware, but you know, I think I view, especially this version isn't like the GameCube version didn't need it necessarily. I mean, okay, well they needed it to a certain point. They needed like to load each area, but they didn't need it to be like, it could just have been like now loading or something, right? If they wanted to change it, they could. But you know, also I think there's a time limit on each one. But like if you know, I think the limitations are what make Resident Evil 1 special. You know what I mean? It's just like the matter of the pre-rendered backgrounds and all of like the mansions like layout or whatever, right? You get like a map that's like, you know, like pretty basic, you know. And I think, you know, this is what I'm thinking about remakes a lot, right? And remakes, I think the thing with remakes is that I've been playing I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's why I'm playing this game, because I'm thinking about remakes. And with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think I like the way that remake did it. I like the way this remake does it too. Where I like, because Final Fantasy VII is like basically a ground up, a reimagining, basically an entirely new game just based on like the groundwork and characters. Kinda, it is like a fan fiction of Final Fantasy VII, and this game is like the pumped up like ultra version of thing where it's like I don't know, it's the same layout, the same game as far as I know, but it has like just density added to like every single thing, like even like the menus, the fucking sound effects, like fucking everything is density. And this is of course my perspective as someone who wasn't, you know, big fan of the original version. I just can't get over the tank controls. I apologize. This game's hard enough with the fucking circle controls. The circle controls aren't like, I like the way they did it here because it's like, you know, if you use a knife or something, right? It has infinite ammo technically because it's a knife, but you can't move. You can kind of like shift over, but you can't move while you're doing it. So you can't like go like slice them. You have to go like lock on, you know? Like this has less control than a fucking Dark Souls weapon. And my main thing about it is that certain games like have like better or worse remakes, but I think we're in a remake culture now, right? So I think with Resident Evil 2, especially 3, like there is something lost. I like Resident Evil 2's remake. The demo I played of it, I thought it was pretty good, but I don't have the frame reference for the first one either way. But my main thing about it is that there's something lost when you get rid of those constraints, because it's so funny. The first time I played Resident Evil 2 remake, the demo, it was like so shocking to me you could just go through a door and it didn't need to load anything. Just like the first time experience like that, just like, I don't know, like a distinct area that didn't really need to load, because of course you can go through doors in most games and it doesn't really need to load anything, right? Well, I mean, not most games, like, you know, like if you go to like a Call of Duty game, right, you go through a door, it's just a door, right? You just like then through the door. But if you're going through like if you're going like an RPG, right, and it's a new distinct area, like usually it has to like fade out and then fade back in, you know what I mean? Like how this game does it. It has like a like it has the like door and like it has animation that's like distinct, right? And you know, I think that kind of shocked me the first time, because it was like, damn, the games are in the future. Like it's just some of those like subtle things that you don't think about unless you're like a hyper gamer like me. There's a lot of fucking shit. But oh lord. No. Good lord. Wait, is this where the thing is? Let's got another dagger. Oh brother. This motherfucker. Alright. Let's get ready. See right here, like let's say this source. See right here, this is like the most scrappy ass horror game. Like, if your horror game is like any, like, I think this is why this game's so good, because you gotta like be like this shit. You gotta like you gotta really be careful with your fucking shit. You can't, because at least like later in the game, you kind of develop a little bit more of an armory. You can like actually kill the enemies like reasonably a little bit, not like a fucking FPS game or anything. Like I don't think you don't ever feel like, I guess you feel a little powerful by the end of the game, but there's a lot of, you can't fuck around. Like you're always on edge, right? And that's why this game's so special, because like, and it may, I don't know, there are probably other like horror games that are just like this, but I think the main thing about it is that every time there's like survival horror, that was what people like around the mid 2010s. Now we're in the mascot horror era. I don't have really big opinions on horror, honestly, because it's not my genre, right? But I just think about the shift of the genre a lot, because a lot of people are very passionate about the genres. And whenever I watch something horror, it's like kind of interesting. I like the way horror looks. That's my main thing about horror. I like it visually. I get inspired by it visually. And psychological horror is kind of interesting to me on that level too. I guess like Evangelion's psychological horror somewhat, but never mind that. Evangelion, Eva. I want to call it everything different because it pisses off people and it's funny. But you know, it's like survival horror has this like shift kinda all the time. That's like, you know, every once in a while it goes between like action, and then it goes between action and helplessness, right? Like subtle and big, back and forth. Fucking hell. Is it dead? Okay. Look at that. That's a model. And it looks so good, just like there. It looks like it's a drawn on there. And so the action, so like certain Resident Evil games are more action, certain Resident Evil games are more like survival horror, and this is the hardest it ever leaned towards survival horror, and from my memory. And then like the most actions, like Resident Evil probably 6, and then like Resident Evil Village probably, I'd say like a little more action, but it leans in the middle. And then Resident Evil 4, like 7 is a little more survival horror, but leans still the middle. And then I don't remember where Resident Evil 2 and 3 kind of line up, but the and Resident Evil 4 is like probably smack dab in the middle, but a little bit more action. I don't know. So like, you know, being that it's a big company game, which is, I guess I like Resident Evil series, fair enough, but being that it's a big company game, they'd naturally start leaning towards action a little bit more, because I mean, honestly, it is very hard. It's just inherently hard to keep a certain amount of subtlety in general when you have a series. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a matter of just like. Sorry. It was sure. I lost all my ammo, so I don't even know if I want to keep with this file. But I'm kind of trying to play right now. Wow. But it's hard to keep a certain amount of subtlety whenever you're trying to when you have a horror franchise, or even when you have any franchise, right? Because whenever you have a franchise, it's not even up in the ante, it just happens naturally, right? Like flanderization or whatever, you know? And honestly, I guess it's a good problem to have, because if you like have a long running franchise, that means you have like something there to expand upon, you know what I mean? Like, not many people even have the opportunity to do that, but it is a problem nonetheless in terms of writing and design, you know? If I hear that fire, I think it's like zombies. Scary. The crystal. I forget where this goes. In here? Oh, wait, I just have to get the emblem. Examine. Examine. Also, sometimes you have to like check the items themselves, which is interesting to me. A big aspect of Resident Evil 1 also is like the inventory management. I don't remember how much you had in Resident Evil 1 originally. It might have been 6, but it might have been, I think it was probably 8 actually. But in this version you have like 8 slots, right? And those 8 slots are like, they look at this shit. Like, no, they didn't look at this shit. They get consumed so easily because you almost always need like a gun, and I don't think you ever want to go anywhere without the survival knife. But that's just me. And for me, I don't go through this like game without an ink ribbon because it's like I need to save. You know what I mean? I need to fucking save. That's me though. Some people just like go through the game like, you know, European extreme difficulty and shit, go without saving once. I'm like, I don't have the mental capacity to keep track of all those goddamn like doors and shit. But you know, you do you. I kind of fuck with the vibe. This is one YouTuber I watch who's like a big Resident Evil fan, and she's cool. She's just like black hair, and she looks like she looks like Bayonetta or whatever. I like her. I forgot her name, but if you know that YouTuber, you know. I remember she said that Resident Evil 1 was like her favorite game of all time or something, and I fuck with the vibe. But this amount of just space just goes fast, especially because again, it's you need a weapon. So gun of some type, melee weapon, probably healing item, save slot, right? And at least one of these is going to be taken up by a key item at some point, you know. And my main thing is that you probably shouldn't keep 2 key items at once. It's just a bad idea because you just like, what if you need? So I think like if you need like to if you see like a new herb, right, and you want to make a thing herb, yeah, I mean I guess you could combine them. You can combine these. You can't combine any items. You can just only combine stuff that like supposed to be combined. But you know, it's a big deal. It's a big aspect of the game. Like the inventory management is a very big deal. Like again, I have very strong reverence for this game because every single like I have a big reverence for this game because every single aspect of this game is just like so designed to be so terrifying and like pressurizing, right? And I think about that in terms of like not even just like game design, but in terms of writing. Honestly, when I make my game, I have to really think about that in terms of game design too, because challenge is like one of those things. I think honestly, I'm probably gonna set my game to be pretty easy just by the virtue of like, I like easier games when it comes to RPGs. But also it's like, because turn-based RPGs is like, you know, it's not even like it's relatively niche at this point. Although I guess it is a pretty good time in history for turn-based RPGs. I guess, like it's not like 1990 or anymore, but you know it's better than it was early 2010s or late 2000s, early 2010s, where you had just like I don't know, just Final Fantasy 13 or like fucking Neptunia, I guess. Maybe Ni no Kuni. It was a rough time. It was a very rough time for people who just don't. I'm not a big action RPG fan until recently, you know. In fact, I have Final Fantasy 15 downloading right now, like literally at this moment. So I really hope this recording in general. But yeah, I was saying like, no, it was a very rough time. But yeah, I'm saying that like remakes are in a weird spot. But I go back and forth on remakes. We do my main thing. We make too many remakes. We genuinely do, too many remakes. I think the thing about it is that even if we make too many remakes, they're gonna be made anyway. I think ports should be thing more. Okay, here's my thing about it. Again, like I was saying before, gaming is not treated as an artistic medium, like, you know, fine art, like, you know, painting is. And again, all those fine arts, like every medium has its perception issues. So it's whatever. But I think, you know, gaming still isn't treated as an artistic medium as much as it's treated as like a, you know, mass media terms of like consumption, right? Like so It's very much product driven, right? And I think, you know, I think like the main thing about it is that the average person has a movie they love deeply, not for deep reasons necessarily. You know, most people just love, like, I don't know, they like love Toy Story because they watched it when they're young. Yeah, that's fine. But for like for a lot of like games, people who play games, gamers or whatever, it doesn't feel like they have that one game necessarily, if you know what I mean. It's like was it the shield here? A sword. Okay. Like, people have the game they love, but it doesn't feel like they love it for, like, I don't know, what's it called? Okay, what am I trying to say? People, I was gonna say the same thing, okay, like for Toy Story, right? The Toy Story example. Like, people would have it, like, the themes would be relatable in Toy Story. That's why they love when they're a kid. They're like, oh, I see myself in, like, Woody or whatever, right? I don't know. In a subtle way. They wouldn't be able to verbalize it necessarily, but, you know, it'd be like, they'd at least have that idea, right? But for a lot of games, you know, people see it in that way. So it's like a matter of, you know, because, I don't know. My main thing I'm trying to say is that games have more thematic depth than meets the eye. And a lot of it's not acknowledged in general by the average audience. See that shit? That's terrifying. But I think anyway, I think the average audience is also like a you know, a hard sell. Cause my main thing is about it is that I think every single millisecond of my life I have this like underlying hatred for like the average, quote unquote average audience, the Joe Normie down the street or whatever. But it's just like, you know, it's a normal person. But I think the matter of fact is that, you know, the average person is more like you than you expect, even the people you hate. And that's kind of a hard, tough thing to sell, because, you know, when you hate somebody, you want to be like, I'm nothing like them. And sometimes you really are nothing like somebody, but even then, you are a lot more like somebody than you expect. So there are circumstances where I wouldn't like this game. I think, you know, if I didn't try out this game during Halloween of like, or like October of like 2020, I probably wouldn't like it. It was a very time sensitive thing, I think. I mean, I still would have like appreciated the design of it on the base level, right? But I don't think I would have liked it as like a gameplay experience necessarily. But so it's like that for like anything, right? Like it's a god damn. Loud ass game. It's killing me that there's the silence. There's a silence in most of the corridors. Corpse collapse and motorcycles, instant death. What happened in its mansion? Yeah, it's the matter of like, there's this like silence for most of these things, and that's the scariest part. It's like the ambient noise. You hear Jill's like tapping on the feet, and like you're just listening out like to see like, is there someone nearby? Is like a zombie shambling down the like road or like other room? Do I have to worry about them? So like this literally is like the perfect horror game. And I don't even like horror as a genre, but I have to like kneel. I have to say like, oh my god, this game is literally is fucking like beautiful, because everything designed is like perfectly designed to be like scary, you know what I mean, to be engaging. Okay, here's this motherfucker. Hold up. Okay, so like this. See right here, they use the mirror. That's engagement. It's a code. That's some Kojima shit now. Kojima would do like 2 more layers of that, but still. You know, like people in like film school or whatever say like a interesting shot's like film 101 or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, anyone can do that shot. It's like not everyone uses that shot though. You know? Oh, fucking hell, fucking hell. Thank fuck. I'm probably gonna play this until I die once. Very terrified. But you see the mirrors, they work well too. Take the golden arrow. See, it's like shit, random shit like this golden arrow. Like, what does this do? Like, what does this golden arrow do? See, right there, arrowhead. Peridot. Poor man's emerald. What did Peridot do to you? So every item, like, I didn't know you had to check the items before playing this. Or like, it's like even during playing this. Right there, you get a handgun magazine, right? You pause the handgun magazine, get pause. You combine that with the handgun. You only fits, I think sometimes, I think it fits 30. And what door was it? Unlocked it. Master of unlocking. Did I go to the other side? Yeah, it does. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck to do with this. So this is like what I'm talking about, like, you know, I just don't remember on the base level. But yeah, I just love this game. And, you know, I just like talking about this shit. I like thinking about this game. I don't want to do a video or anything, because it basically just me explaining these same points, but like with editing or whatever. But I think just seeing gameplay of this game would just like convince you that it's like cool, because like look at this shit, look at the shot. Like that's the thing about it. But I'm just saying that, like, you know, remakes are good when they like really consider like making big foundational changes of the game, or they have to do one of two things, right? If you're gonna remake a really good game, like just iron out the kinks like on the base level. Like the Paper Mario remake was basically like, so really all it needed to do was add that one pipe in chapter 4, and it made Mario Thousand Year Door from a 9 to a 10 instantly. Literally, it's that easy. That's how easy it was. Like, and that could have been done with a remaster, but the remake was just like a matter of just like, okay, well, Nintendo just like is just sometimes it's just weird about remasters. I don't know. And I guess they want to make it like 16:9, which makes sense. Because that game is not like built on 4:3 necessarily. This one might actually be built on 4:3 a little bit more than the other ones were, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm saying that, like, yeah. But if you're gonna remake a game like and here's my opinion, my big opinion, in big current year old typewriter. Can you save your progress? Use ink ribbon, yes. Right here, no data. Yeah, I love those like different like saves I had just in case. Yeah. So for remakes, I want more people to remake shitty games. I genuinely want a Sonic 06 remake. It's like the same thing with difficulty. It's like people don't know what they want until they get it, you know? People don't know they want hard games until they get it. It's just like people don't know they want remakes of shitty games until they get it, because like I consider Kid Icarus Uprising basically to be a remake of Kid Icarus. I know it's a sequel. I know it is. But it basically is a remake. Like, because it retells a lot of the same like stuff about Kid Icarus, different way. These are all same characters. I don't know. But it's expansion of it, kind of. That's what it is. And it's like, I wish remakes, if you're gonna like, they can't, people do these weird half steps. I'm like, if we're gonna remake all these games, if we're gonna really be in the like this era, and I don't really, honestly, I've seen like a few Twitter accounts or whatever who like hate remakes passionately. I don't hate remakes. I do think it's like, I guess it's like we're doing remakes as an excuse to not port games because people like think those games are old and archaic. And that's what I was saying about like artistic medium. It's just like people view games as inherently old and archaic once they reach a certain age, like if it's made in 2006 and the game just inherently sucks now, I think that's the issue. And remakes will never fix that issue because we'll have to remake the remakes in like 15 years or something, right? That's why we're getting stuck at the remake loop of like Sony remakes or whatever, having not Death Stranding, having The Last of Us have a remake for PS5 despite being made for PS3 and being remastered for PS4. It hurts me. It genuinely hurts me. And I think, you know, and people who like want like, it's kind of weird because people who write remakes and stuff inherently have like a little bit of like, if you want a remake of like Final Fantasy VII, right? You had to have played that original version to like see the value in making a remake. So you have a little bit to like, so that means you at least have a minimum level of like passion towards the old version of the game, or at least like old games in general, or the other way around, to like to see it as a place you could remake from, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So I think trying to make remakes for like people who don't even like playing old games in the first place is kind of weird, because it's like kind of like a weird thing. It's like you're kind of remaking it for a new audience, but also like, that's my point. You just gotta remaster stuff more often. I like the Arcade Archive series on Switch, like just ports of just random games, because just like, you know, because they're really, you know, they could be a little cheaper, but they're pretty cheap. I don't know, some of the games on there are just like so obscure, like I couldn't imagine spending $5 on them, but I get it. But because, you know, like overhead or whatever, like, I don't know, I'm used to Steam sales. I'm sorry. So, you know, it's like once you get you get a, I think we should remake shittier games like Hoshi no Hiro Mito. That's one of my like favorite like games to mention. It's one of the worst. It's like, it's Kusoge. It's peak Famicom RPG Kusoge, and apparently it got translated English recently, unofficially, and I want to play it because like I keep mentioning it and I really want to see how terrible it is. It's like the Takeshi challenge of Famicom RPGs, and Famicom RPGs generally weren't that good anyway because they're Famicom RPGs. But like even the best Famicom RPGs weren't that good. Like Dragon Quest II was, oh man, like in terms of like, because have you ever played the original version of Dragon Quest II? Like, oh god, the original version of Dragon Quest II. Yeah, that's the thing about it. Man, like I mean, I like the NES Dragon Warrior 2. Honestly, but anyway, my whole thing is that like we should port games more often, because no matter what amount of remakes you do, people won't appreciate, like it just won't matter, because people won't meet a game on its own terms, you know. And I don't think we should do that many remakes anyway. I think we should give developers who are talented developers more opportunities in the gaming industry to develop polish their skills on new crafts. Like the remake to new game pipeline. That's what Nintendo's been doing recently. I like that. And I think the thing about Nintendo is why they're so successful is that they're keeping all their people. Like, you know, so the same thing with me and like commissions or whatever. It's like, you know, once you commission artists for the first time, it's like you're kind of brushing off. It's like you're kind of like getting a vibe for them, you know, to see if they could pay you or you could pay them. And then after that, it gets a little easier. And then progressively, it's like, okay, you know exactly what I want, and and I know how to explain it, right? It's like the familiarity with it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think the gaming industry is kind of fucked up right now. I should just walk around the mansion a little bit more, but I'm terrified. I'm genuinely scared to do it. I'm very bad with this game. But I don't know. I just think that the game industry is a little fucked up right now. All that industries are a little fucked up right now. I don't want to be a doomer about it. I want to be hopeless. And it's not even like I listen, I have accepted my life as just, you know, working shitty minimum wage jobs for my entire life, and you know, doing what I like on the side. That's what I'm fine with that, honestly. The main thing I want to do is just work part-time. Working full-time is complete ass. That's the money ball or whatever. That's the shit. That's what like, that's the actual shit. Not like that's the shit as in good. That's shit bad. But you know, like when I think about like the gaming artistic industry, it's not about me. It's about just like the people who make our stuff possible, you know? It's like if the artists aren't comfortable, the artists aren't like getting what their money's worth is, and then the fucking corporation motherfuckers at top are getting billions and trillions of goddamn dollars to let their yes men do the shit, and for them to just like count their money in a pool, you know, it just hurts. And you know, sure, you could call like this game, for instance, creatively bankrupt, I guess you could like, but the thing about like this game is so funny is that they had Code Veronica, they had Survivor, they had Gaiden, they actually had a version of Resident Evil 1 on Game Boy they were working on. They had, so like Resident Evil 1, like that was back in the video game days when, like, you know, it didn't take a fucking decade to make a game each time, so they could just like put on different SKUs or whatever. And you know, especially if you make a game now, it has to be either a mobile game or it's a AAA blockbuster. There's no like mid games for like AAA studios or thing. I don't know why. Like that's kind of like, you know, it's like the same thing with like, you know, movies. They don't have any budget movies. You know, it's very scary. I don't know. So I'm just thinking about this game. It's very special to me. I'm just terrified to play it because, you know, it's like just creeping up on the corner, like these camera angles, right? I just think about this, and like all those mid-budget games are those indie games now. They're not even getting any, but like they're mid-budget by virtue of just like the people had a success from the first game that had no budget, I guess. It's not like the big studios are funding mid-budget shit anymore. I don't know. But depending on the big studios, it's kind of fucking anyway. But like you have to because they have the money, you know. I think that's the issue. So I'm just like I think Capcom actually, you know, is pretty good about the Resident Evil series right now. I genuinely think it's very good in a good place right now because people generally like Resident Evil 8. I like it because well, don't ask me why, but you know, they're doing a pretty solid, especially because I got this on Steam. So it's like, you know, they're doing a good job of having the old version on there. They have Resident Evil 0 on there. I kind of wish they did Code Veronica. They ported it or they like remade it or something, you know. And they also have the original versions of the first 3 games on GOG now, you know. So they're at least, you know, I think companies are getting a little better about providing like versions of their old stuff. I do worry about the future a little bit, but yeah. But it's just a matter of like, you know, what I'm really worried about is just like, I don't know, not letting, well, okay, it's not letting people do like mid-budget stuff, because I mean this is probably like a AAA production in terms of that, but you know, it probably cost less than Resident Evil 4 did, you know what I mean? Because all the pre-rendered backgrounds, I mean, like they probably had like a pipeline for that at that point, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. I apologize. I'm just really tired. Hopefully Final Fantasy 15 is done downloading by now. I kind of want to play it. I've been loving some Final Fantasy recently, but I've just been thinking about that because this game just like very special to me. It's because it's just like horror games. I don't know. This it induces a certain specific feeling in me, scary stuff, and it's like I don't seek it out, and especially because like the specifics. You know, it's not about the jump scare. It's about like the tensity. It's about like the fighting back and forth. You know, it's like explaining like a weird like what you're into. It's like, you know, it's not about the jump scare. It's about the jump scare. No, it's not as shallow as the goddamn jump scare. It's about like, you know, about the tensity, about the back and forth. It's about the struggle. It's about the gameplay surrounding it. And honestly, it is a little bit about the confusing winding mansion. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking mansion. Like. Just this room, it's like a pretty fucking sizable goddamn mansion, and then like there's like the basement, and then there's like there's actually the outside, and then there's the lab. There's like a bunch of areas, the garden, like there's like a bunch of areas, and then whenever I was playing this game, like the mansion's the main one, But I didn't even know there was anything besides the mansion. And I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of tired now, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about Resident Evil remake because I don't know. I don't think it's so weird because I think about those like stream. Let me just like, you know, I guess I'm already at the end of this, but I don't know. I've been just sitting in this room for a while, so I'm doing nothing. But and I'm probably not even. I'm not even sure it's a recording. I turned off the other monitor. I don't know if OBS is recording, but there's like a sense of nostalgia I get from like those old streams. You know, something that like I can't explain. An emotion that's like lost. It's like, you know, a feeling of dipping my toes into a new aspect of like my personality, like enter that culture or something. You know, this sense of discovery, sense of like nighttime, like, you know, like how I was saying got vaporwave. You know, it's like that, but like with video games. I think, you know, that feeling of just nighttime discovery is very much what drives me in terms of like emotional thing, you know, because, you know, that's just like my strongest emotions are always at like super late in the night, you know, and I think about that stuff a little bit, and it's like that's probably what, you know, inspires me. It's very much what inspires me, and you know, I think that it's like, hopefully as I grow older, you know, I get a lot more of those experiences that are like irreplaceable and give me that emotion, life affirming experiences, right? But you know, I definitely get why like people have nostalgia, because I think that's probably what nostalgia feels like. You know, sometimes I go back and forth on like, you know, what I think nostalgia is, but nostalgia is very much, you know, it is probably the kind of stuff like that, you know, those like experiences that you don't ever like forget or like let go of in terms of your brain. It gives you this weird fuzzy feeling. It's like, you know, it's like for me it's like you know, playing Pokemon, playing like Mario Galaxy, and like playing this game, like, hanging out with my friends back in like school days or whatever, but or discovering like various albums for the first time, you know, it's like that kind of stuff. And you know, I get why people, I think the main thing about it is that it's very easy to get like locked up in that kind of thing and try to like feel that same thing again. But I don't think it's bad to reminisce sometimes. It's a very pleasant feeling and a very inspiring feeling. See, for games are built on that nostalgia, you know. But I don't know. I was thinking about that sometime. So that's why I was like, this is why I like very much think that George Clinton's albums are very special to me, because, you know, they have like this nostalgic feeling towards them, the hypnagogic pop. But I just call them vaporwave because it basically is vaporwave, but it's not, because it's not vaporwave. You know what I mean? It's like genre-wise, it's not, but emotionally it is, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about this game. I was thinking about like the way it just looks and sounds, and what's on to play a little bit, I guess, because I was waiting for something to download. I'm not even sure if it's done by now. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And I don't know. Maybe I mean, I'm not alone in the feeling nostalgia, but like it's just weird to me thinking that like vaporwave is nostalgic now. You know, time marches on. Time will always march on. But the whole thing about me is that you know, that's the reason I made this channel in the first place, to share the experiences, these random experiences, because if I don't share it and I don't archive this stuff, no one else will for me, because again, that's why I think about like characters and writing. Like no one else cares about your stuff as much as you do. Even if like, It's so funny because sometimes people care about stuff more than you do, but you know, I think I have to go with the first one because no one can care about something if it's not done. So, you know, like sure, someone cares about Spider-Man. People care about Spider-Man more than the authors probably. Because there's probably someone out there who's like Spider-Man saved their life and their marriage and their fucking toe. But you know, it's like I'm thirsty, my throat. It's like as the author yourself, you have like you have the obligation to like make it exist because no one else will in the first place. No one will ask you to make it exist. You know what I mean? Especially if it's in the back of your mind. That's the gist of it. But that's all I was want to say. I'm probably gonna upload this video in like really shitty quality too, because my internet sucks. But thank you for watching. I don't know why I did this, but hopefully it sounds good. Bye.